Hello everyone, welcome to Tuesday Tea. Today for Tuesday Tea Time I have Miss Myrna with me. My stallions moved down to the summer pastures this morning, and that means that my mares got to move up to my house. So we have Myrna here and we have Svedra back there in the woods. These are both Mustangs. Most of you know Myrna was in the first movie that I made. And Svedra is the very first Mustang I ever got. She's from Nevada. So here we are. This is the girls up at the house now. So we won't have the stallions at tea time for a while because I don't have cell service or internet at the big summer pastures. So this is just us girls here. So for all of you guys joining us, welcome to Tuesday Tea. My gosh, Myrna has a long head. Between those ears and that nose, that's a long, long face. It's good to have her back home. Tomorrow, Cleo will move home as well. So we'll have Cleo, the matching bay Mustang with Myrna, and Svedra and I here. So I wanted to talk a little bit today about letting go. It's been a really emotional week for me. I didn't realize how hard it was going to be for me to let Atlas go. It's been about 1.5 years that Atlas has been living here next to my house, and I go check on him several times a night. I'm up at 1 a.m. sometimes. First thing I do when I wake up, I check and see if he's okay. Last thing at night, I go check and see if he's okay. Atlas has dominated just about every waking moment I have for the last 1.5 years, other than when I was traveling. And it's been really hard for me to let go of that control. But he's proved over the last month that he is in a different emotional state than he was before. He's turned a corner. He is not overreacting to things. He's not acting really irrationally. And it was time to let him go. Time to let him go out to the big pastures. And this was always the plan. It was always the plan to start the stallions process up here next to my house in the paddocks, but then to let them go out to the bigger pastures, out to where they had more space. It's been hard for me though. Letting go after putting so much care and effort and concern into setting up everything to go right. It's a really important part of the process, but I guess I wanted to acknowledge today that it is not always an easy part of the process. And I think this goes for lots of training. We put so much emphasis on how to impact the horse, how to cause the horse to change, develop, grow, learn. And the piece that we neglect is the flow and the harmony and the letting go. I put all this effort into making sure that it would go well. And now it's time to let go and see if that effort was enough. And this is the hard part of the process. So, Myrna's a really good example. She did that first movie with me, and I have learned since that she's actually an incredibly generous horse. So with her, it was really easy to let go. I would put a certain amount of care and control into developing her, but then it was really easy to let go because she made such good choices and she was so generous with me. She still is so generous with me. Atlas, with his history of trauma, it's much more difficult for me to step back and say, okay, can you handle the world now? we've put all this time and effort into helping him trust people and develop his emotional resilience and his self-soothing habits. Can I let go and see if he can handle it now? Can he go farther away from me into bigger spaces and be okay? And I think he can. I think I have really set it up for success, and I think that Atlas is ready for it. But the thing that's on my mind today is we control to feel safe. And because Atlas was not a safe horse, Atlas was always on the edge of being a disaster. And so for so many, many months, I have really controlled everything about his environment to keep everyone safe. And then today, and over the last couple of months, we've been preparing for today. It was time to say, okay, he's not dangerous anymore. He is not a loose cannon. He is not going to make terrible decisions. It's time for me to let go. And so that's today. Christian says, you used the trailer for Atlas and Ari, right? How was it? So this is one of the things, I put a lot of control and cautious, careful thought into the trailering process, and it went off perfectly. There was zero drama. There was no worry at all. Atlas got in the trailer like he's been doing every day for months. And every day for months, I've been opening the door when he feels most relaxed. So the movement of the door happens when he's most settled in the trailer. And I have not tried to close it because I was afraid if I closed that door once, I wouldn't be able to close it ever again, or at least not for months. And I knew I needed to move him soon. So today was the one day. Breezy. Sorry, barking dog. Today was the one day I was going to close that trailer door, and I did. And I closed the trailer door behind Atlas, and for the first time since he got here, there was no freeze, no flight. He kept eating hay. His ears kept moving. He was not concerned. He was not worried when that door shut. So that was really good. There again, that's an example. I had to let go of all of my concerns that it was going to go badly and say, you know what? I think he can do this now. Just let it go and move forward and do the next thing. And he did it. So Atlas was the big concern. Ari loves the trailer. Ari knows that the trailer is where the alfalfa is. And so the moment the door is the least bit open, Ari jumps in. He didn't care there was a car hitched up to it. He didn't care that Atlas had already left. He didn't care that everything was different. He saw the trailer and he went, yes, let me in. So I knew Ari was not going to be an issue. Ari was easy to let go and move on and do that. Atlas, I wasn't sure about. So yeah, exactly. A very emotional step for me, and not really rational in how emotional it was. I don't feel like it should be as emotional as it is, but Atlas is the most traumatized horse I've ever worked with. And he makes Myrna here look like just the most peaceful, easy, gentle partner in the world. And knowing when to keep control and when to let go, that's really the art form. So I feel like I missed some comments here. I'm just going to scan back for a second. Thank you, Joe. It's great to have you here too. So I guess I wanted to talk a little bit about the balance between control and letting go. And obviously I train without any tools at all. So when you have no tools, you don't have a lot of control. And it becomes really about the art of letting go and when to let go, when to expose your horse to more dramatic things, when to give them more freedom, when to open the gates, when to go into more dangerous situations. And understanding that balance of how do I put in all of this effort to set the horse up for success, and then let go and see what happens. So the work that I do for all of you guys who've seen Freedom Based Training 101, it's a huge process of meditation around the horse, showing the horse that we make good choices. And we invest and we invest and we invest in showing the horse that we are worth trusting. And then at a certain point, you have to let go and say, I think you can handle this more difficult situation, or I think you can handle more freedom, or I think you can handle more challenge. And that process of letting go of all the fear or anxiety or concern that it won't go well and say, I've done everything I can to set this up for success. Now it's time to let go and see what happens. So that was my day today. Atlas and Ari are out in the pasture with the 3 geldings. They will be out with Ocasio and Ram and Zohari. We do have them split into 2 different herds. We have a domestic herd and a Mustang herd because the 2 stallions don't get along. And so Ari will be with his Mustang buddy and Atlas will be with his domestic horse buddies. And for now, that's how it's going to go. Maybe at some point in the future, we'll have done enough prep time that I can let go a little farther and let them all be together. I don't know. I'll have to take that a day at a time. That balance between doing the work or having the control of yourself or the situation is about safety. And once you feel really, really safe, then you start looking to where you can stretch the boundaries. Where can the world get a little bigger? When can you just step back and trust that it's gonna be okay? You've done all the work you can do, and now it's time to let go. So that is tea time today. I have a whole bunch of work that I've got to do to go organize everything around the way my life has changed. As you can see, it's a very hot day. I have iced tea with me today. Mirna says hello. Savedra says hello. And I hope you guys get something from that idea. There's a time to control for safety, and then there's a time to let go and trust that it's all going to be okay. So, yeah, exactly, Dot. Trust the instinct. It is hard to let go, but there isn't a time and a place where it's right. Let go, and it's going to be fine. And, it's funny, I'm so emotional today. The fact is there was zero drama. There was absolutely no issue moving the stallions to the summer pastures. It couldn't have gone more smoothly. There's nothing for me to be emotional about except maybe success. It all worked. It all worked so easily. Everyone was thinking and calm and engaged and interested, and now we move forward in new spaces with new places to explore. So thank you guys for joining me for tea. I'll be here next week, and it'll be Mirna and Cleo next week. And if you guys have anything you'd like me to chat about, let me know. Have a wonderful day, wonderful evening wherever you are in the world, and happy Tuesday from Mirna and I and Savedra.